Now hold on just a red-blooded American second. I see you out there squirming in your chair, clutching your pearls, whispering, James, you cannot say that. Oh, yes, I can. And I will, because this is still America, and we haven't outsourced the First Amendment yet. I saw a headline this morning. It said, community leaders are calling for cultural sensitivity training for the riot police. Excuse me? Multicultural sensitivity? You want a guy dodging rocks and Molotov cocktails to pause midair and say, excuse me, sir, what are your pronouns before I detain you? If I wanted that kind of coddling, I would go to Canada, shave my chest, and change my name to Derek Rainbow. But I don't. I want a country that knows right from wrong, English from gibberish, and a border from a buffet. Let me ask you, when did we decide that American culture had to apologize to every other culture? Like, we're the ones who walked in late and tracked mud on the flag. You ever notice that when people not in LA, they don't torch their own neighborhoods? No, they much rather march straight into a poor working guy's hardware store and light it up like the 4th of July. And then the media calls it a cry for help. I cry for deportation with a 2-for-1 special. Now, I know that they'll say, I'm being a xenophobe. Wrong. I'm an Amerophile. I just think if you break into my house, eat my food, change my channel, and then tell me that I need to be inclusive, you're the problem. And what do these people chant during the riots? No borders, no nations, no justice, no peace. I got a new chant for you. No papers, no entry, no English, no service, no respect, no mercy. I tell you, I miss the good old days when immigrants came here and kissed the ground. Nowadays, they show up with lawsuits, lawyers, and demands for a gluten-free government cheese. They don't want a piece of American dream. They want to Airbnb it, vandalize it, sue you, and then leave a 1-star review on Yelp. Now, I know that there are decent folks out there, local immigrants who work hard, they pay their taxes, they salute the flag, and then they teach their kids that that Americans aren't racists. To those people, I say, you're welcome. Pull up a chair. There's chili on the stove and a gun on the wall. But the ones who are on the streets right now, lighting fires, chanting nonsense, and acting like this country owes them something just because they showed up, here's my advice. Go home. Or better yet, grow up. Let's just keep going, man. Now, don't panic, snowflakes. I'm not talking about rounding up Grandma Consuela, who's been here making tamales ever since Eisenhower. No, we're talking about the free-loading, riot-starting, anthem-hating crowds who make threats to America like a buffet with no tip, no thank you, and definitely no English. They say, now that's cruel. What is asking me to pay for someone's emergency room visit as they slip on their own illegal fireworks while dodging border patrol in their flip-flops. You know how they say we need immigration reform? I agree. Here's my plan, okay? Come here legally. Welcome us. Read the Bible. You can legally come here. Hell, I'd put a catapult on the border. Launch folks right back over with a parachute and a laminated copy of the Constitution so they can read what they missed while tunneling under a fence. You know, a lot of people, like activists, they say, oh, well, if the illegals are here, they're the ones doing the jobs that Americans won't do. Wrong. They're doing jobs Americans would do if you weren't taxed into oblivion to pay for free cell phones and subsidized salsa dances for the illegals. And what's this obsession with giving amnesty? If you break into my house, you eat my food, you sit on my lazy boy, and then demand I legalize your behavior, try that with a bear and see how it works out. You don't reward bad behavior. You got people on the streets literally throwing rocks at every single patrol vehicle as they pass by. You know what the real crime is? While the illegals get free college, bilingual ballets, and driver's license, veterans are sleeping under bridges. Police officers are being spat on, and every child in the public school has to say happy holidays while ducking under a rainbow flag. Meanwhile, ICE agents are the bad guys. Make ICE a mandatory service. That's what I say. You spend a summer of rounding up border jumpers like it's a summer camp with night vision goggles and dignity. The Border Patrol agents, they are literally just enforcing the law. So, and look at how much damage has been created and caused by not ICE agents breaking the law or overstepping their bounds of the law. No, they're literally just being in accordance with the law, and this is what this has caused. You know, my policy is you sneak in, you have a baby, and you think it's a golden ticket? No, it's not Willy Wonka. It's Wally Wallop. How about that? If you're not supposed to be here, guess what? That baby is going with you. That's not cruel. That's family unity with a passport. Anchor babies, more like anchor lawsuits. If you sneak onto a cruise ship and have a baby in the engine room, that doesn't make the baby the captain. That makes me a stowaway and the baby a co-conspirator. And you know what? Don't get me started on the sanctuary cities. That's a word for churches and fantasy novels, not crime-infested, pothole-ridden cities where felons get to hug and get a hot meal. You know what I want to see? Patriot cities. Cities where the flag is woven in the street and we replace it with a bald eagle riding a Harley with a Toby Keith song on repeat. Folks, they want you to believe you're the villain, that you're the bad guy for wanting secure borders, a common language, and a country that prioritizes its citizens over foreigners. Now, let's talk about this so-called immigration crisis. You know what I call it? an uninvited family reunion where nobody brought a casserole and everybody's demanding the Wi-Fi password. These people keep crawling in like ants at a barbecue, but instead of whenever you spray them down, they claim discrimination and file a lawsuit with the ACLU. And don't get me with that American is a nation of immigrants speech. Yeah, we were. But you know what else we were? A nation with a front door and a lock on it. Right now, our border is looser than a Hollywood's actor's moral in a private island party. It's sneaking in like a screen door on a submarine. If we don't blast it fast, we'll drown in the sea of broken English and bounced welfare checks. These activists say we don't believe in borders. Well, guess what? I don't believe in astrology, but I'm not trespassing on Saturn. And they say no human is illegal. You know what else isn't illegal? Common sense. But apparently that's gone extinct faster than a Confederate statue in Portland. I read that Los Angeles is trying to rename parts of the city after inclusive community heroes. What happened to George Washington Cemetery? Now it's Frida Kahlo Justice Academy with classes in interpretive gardening and communist art appreciation. And the national anthem, gone, replaced by some guy with a nose ring playing a didgeridoo while singing in 9 languages about the sins of Columbus. Let me break it down. This is not about race. This is about replacing American culture with a remix nobody asked for. It's like taking a classic muscle car, a 1970 Charger, baby, oh yeah, and swapping the engine made from Beijing in a bumper sticker saying coexist. No, I don't want coexistence. I want dominance. The kind of dominance you feel when you smell fireworks, gun oil, and beef jerky. Excuse me for a second. I have got. Ladies and gentlemen, we want our freedom back. We want to be able to have our kids live in a place where they're safe and they can go outside at night and run around and not feel victim to somebody either stealing them and taking them into human trafficking. These crazy people have been allowed to come over into our country by the hundreds of thousands. Imagine a group of people, 10, 15, 20,000, enough to fill up an entire football stadium, coming through the jungles, the Darien, up through South America to come to our country. And then you have folks here in this country saying that this is the worst place in the world. Well, let me tell you, friend, if it was the worst place in the world, why has 22 million illegals come here? I just find it so interesting that people are all up in arms and in protest, out in the streets protesting for acting in accordance with the law. They're not, the ICE agents, they're not doing anything above and beyond the law and outside the law. No, that's the protesters aren't protesting for that. They're protesting that people came here illegally. They know they're not supposed to be here. And then ICE agents coming and telling them, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Let's go, buddy. That's what they're up in arms. And you know, there are probably families that are going to be separated from this. No doubt. But you should have thought about that ahead of time. You should have had some forethought and said, well, you know, you had the time from Trump getting in office until now to make whatever plans to either go back to your country or try to get legal status here. And I always say that Trump is like a boss. You've probably been in jobs where you had a manager, and that manager lets you come in 5 minutes late and leave 10 minutes early and get free snacks and get freebies and do all kinds of things outside of what should be allowed. And then a new manager comes in and he says, hey, just do what I'm asking you to do. And those people get mad. There we go. There we go. Look at all these people mad, upset. Paid activists, good pay. $1,000, day 3, Squares, Air Fresh, Cash, George something. Jim, you didn't mention stealing. They're stealing Social Security money and getting free hotel stay and a credit card to go and spend like $2,000. That is exactly right. While people are veterans and people here in this America need help, they're being denied care, and these same organizations are giving care to the illegals. It's amazing. Just give me 1 second. I have got to do something. Well, the Marines are going to come in. The National Guard is going to come in. All these different organizations are going to come in like this, heading to LA. And so now you're going to have all these illegals protesting, and then you're going to get all these type of other organizations come and try to defend America, and it's going to create just a huge problem, because none of these people, maybe some of them are police officers, some of them are military, but they're just, in other words, private citizens that are going to go there and attempt to make some type of change and help out, which that is good. But I think what it will do is just create more friction. You know, the police, between the police, the Marines, the National Guard, and whatever, you know, military agencies come to combat the protests, they've got it under control. If you're a regular citizen, you need to probably evacuate that area, not even be there. Guys, I just want to give my couple 2 cents about this. And yes, I hope that all the police officers and military are safe. And I hope that Trump figures out exactly what to do. I hope God gives him some discernment right now. And this type of stuff, we're in a first world country, and this type of thing is going on in our country. So just imagine in third world countries, and imagine if the protests were legitimate, as if say there was some illegal activity being conducted by the ICE agents or Border Patrol agents, and then they were protesting. But they're not. They're just acting in accordance with the law. And that's the worst thing. You got people out in the streets fighting for something that they shouldn't be fighting for. God save America. God bless America. God bless America. Okay, how do we okay. Yes, I want to stop streaming.